Hello, I'm Spencer with 425 Consulting, and in this video we are going to discuss more ways to search and filter through data within Business Central. First, we're going to start with the search bar and how to use it effectively to parse through many lines within Business Central. So we're going to start off in our chart of accounts. We're going to go to the top bar and select search. From here, once we select search, what we're going to do is type in anything we're searching for. So in this example, let's use account. So by typing an account, it's going to filter through everything that has the word account in it. Now let's say I don't want all accounts. Let's say I want only things that end with the word account. So in that case, I want to put an asterisk at the beginning. Now if I want to search for something that has accounts with only in the beginning, I would put the asterisk at the end. But, it turns out we can't see it. Well, when we use the asterisk, it makes the search case sensitive. So in this case, we just add an @ symbol, and that will make it case insensitive. Now, the last piece we have for the search function is, in addition to the asterisks as well as the @ symbols, we can use quotes, and this will make it search for anything specifically that has this exact text and case. Now, as you can see, nothing is coming up because there is nothing to search for that just says account. So keep this in mind when you're using these tools, how they're used effectively and what limitations they have. We're going to be discussing the filter within the filter pane. So in order to do this, we're going to go up to the little filter button at the top, select on the filter. This allows us to add various ways to filter the current list we're looking at. So in this case, we can go into filter. We can use any number of categories. We can do it by type, totaling, how we post. In this case, we're going to go to balance. So let's say I only want to look at balances that are between 10,000 and 55,000. So in order to do this, I'm going to type in my first number and then 2 periods or dots. That gives us our interval and then our second number. Simply clicking enter, and it now filters anything that meets those requirements that we've set. This is incredibly useful when you're only looking for very specific entries. Can be used any number of ways to find specific amounts or numbers that you're looking for. Now, additionally, we can add further filters to this list by simply selecting the plus filter button, and we can add any number of extra filters to continue narrowing down what exactly we're searching for. Additionally, there is a second part of filtering, which is the filter totals by. When we go into filter totals by, this allows us to filter on the actual balances instead of the list itself. So in this case, we can go to date filter, let's say, and I can use any number of ways that I can search. Simply by typing in a date, we can search and see if anything was done on the 22nd of November. In this case, nothing was done. Another option we have is there is multiple ways that you can search for today, or let's say Mondays of the month, so on and so forth. There is a whole list that Microsoft has compiled and created in order to filter through dates. The last piece I want to talk about with searching and specific to dates is going to be the fact that, remember, we can use those 2 periods to create an interval. So in this case, we can search from period 1, ... through period 4. Now in this case, nothing was done because it doesn't fill anything within this specific period that we're looking at, or the periods of this current year. But remember, anytime you're using dates, if you want to select a range, or if you're using numbers and you want to select a range, you use those 2 periods to create that interval. Now that said, Microsoft has created a very abundant list of different options you can use. So I'm going to, the last piece with regards to the filter function that I really want to hit home on is also specific to dates, but it really applies to anything that you're putting in. I want to remind you, if you are looking for ranges, you use those 2 dots or 2 periods to create that interval. So in this case, let's say I wanted to search from November 20th of 1950 through November 20th of 2022. In this case, I just use those intervals and it will pull up nicely. Now, Microsoft has created an abundant list of different operators and options in order to really hone these filters and searches so that you can get exactly what you're looking for. Because it's such an abundant list, I'm going to provide a link with the video in order for you to be able to look it up and find those, as it's just too much to go through within one video. That said, the last very important piece of using filters is the fact that I can then go to this little save button and I can save this view as whatever I want. Let's call it balance and date. Now I've saved this view as balance and date. It's going to create that. So now I can go and look at everything, or I can make a quick swap to my balance and date filter. You can make multiple lists in order to be able to quickly reference any information you're looking for within Business Central using your searches or filters. This concludes the video on searching and filtering within Business Central. Thanks for watching.